Hey guys, do you like my shirt? um, so we went on a field trip to the spawning channel. Where was it again? I already forget where it is. I forget where it was. Anyways, we went there on a field trip. It was lots of fun. It was really good. So I am graduating from Round Lake Treatment Center on October 20th, and here's this for a mind-blowing fact. My graduation day, October 20th, is also the day that I get my 90-day fob from Narcotics Anonymous and Cocaine Anonymous. 90 days clean and sober, and it's also the day that I'm graduating from Round Lake, so it's kind of mind-blowing how that all kind of worked together and correlated with each other, and it just proves to me to trust in my higher power, and it really helps me to have faith in the process and trust in the process, that everything happens for a reason, and that everything's going to work out, and I just need to have faith. I'm really proud of how far that I've come. But if there is one thing that I've learned in coming to treatment, is how much more work that I still have to do, especially when it comes to healing my inner child and healing from childhood trauma and the trauma that I never really dealt with in my last relationship. How I've kind of really just dealt with things in the past is just don't think about it, move on, get over it. Tomorrow's a new day. And you just gotta do what you gotta do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The world keeps going, everybody keeps going, everything keeps moving. You gotta just go with it. And well, as that is certainly true, nothing is going to stop for me. But if I don't do the inner work and the healing that I need to do, I'm not going to do so well in life as it keeps moving and changing and evolving, because I'm going to be stuck in my trauma and in not growing and evolving the way that life is and the way that life goes. So this treatment place opened me to a lot of things. And in a way, it kind of feels like they just opened a can of worms for me just last week, and now I'm graduating on Thursday. And it's like they just opened this can of worms, and now I'm like, graduation day is on the 20th. So one decision that I was really struggling with was the decision whether or not to stay in the recovery house here. But I think I've made my choice. The recovery house here is a lot more one-on-one based. It's more personal, and they will deal with the can of worms that just got opened for me. The psychologist that's here that I've seen twice will be continuing to see me when I'm in the recovery house. And also there's 2 other counselors that I will be seeing each week as well as probably phone counseling sessions with my therapist that I have back in Vernon. The recovery home will help me with a lot of the trauma work that I need to do, with the boundaries that I always have a problem placing. And there is a relapse prevention program that runs for 8 weeks here. So they do recommend that if we do choose to go to the recovery house, that we go for a minimum of 8 weeks. And those 8 weeks are the relapse prevention program. So regardless, I think that the relapse prevention program is something that will be beneficial for me, so that when I do get out of treatment and go back into the real world, I will have all of the tools under my belt to prevent myself from having another relapse. The only thing that would ever trigger me to relapse was the loss of my daughter, and the how scared I am of the system that I have to deal with in order to get her back. I don't do well with the court system, with government, with anything like that, with police, with lawyers, with social workers, with judges, like all that kind of stuff. It scares the living crap right out of me, and I don't know how to deal with that, but that's something that I will be working on in my program, I guess, to because I get so lost in the mistakes that I made. If I didn't feel so much shame and guilt for making a few of the bad choices that I did, I would have had my daughter back a long time ago. And I would have a couple years of sobriety under my belt right now. I have to, instead of focusing on my past and the mistakes that I made, I need to focus on my strengths and what is good about me and what I can bring to the table and what I'm going to bring to the table in my future, and what my goals are, and how far that I've come already. I easily let people bring me down and let them use my past against me to bring me down, because I still have so much shame and guilt over what I've done in the past, that all they have to do is say to me, you did this and you did that, and then I look at that and I'm like, fuck yeah, I did do that. I'm a horrible, terrible person. I'm a horrible, terrible mother. I don't deserve to have a good life. I don't deserve to have my daughter back. She's better off without me. These are all the kinds of things that go on in my head. That maybe she's better off. That I could be harming her by getting myself back into her life because I let other people influence how I see myself. And I shouldn't do that, because I know how much of a good mother that I am to my daughter. I know how much of a good person I am. I know my heart. I know how pure my heart is. I know I love with all of my heart. I give and I give and I give and I give, and I never expect anything in return. But that's also been my downfall, because people take advantage of that. And I also wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm very, very open. So I give people ammunition to use stuff against me. And that's where I went wrong. I trusted the wrong people and confided. I confided too much in the wrong people. And they used my past against me and made me out to be a total psychotic, unmanageable, terrible mother. Which is not the case. And that really, really, really hurt me, because of all of the years that I stood by and supported my ex-husband in his alcoholism. I feel very betrayed. But I don't hang on to stuff. I don't want to carry anything. I don't want to carry resentment or anything. Like, I don't want to carry blame either. I don't blame him. I don't blame my ex. I don't blame myself anymore either. Shit happened. Yes, a lot of unfortunate shit happened. But guess what? It happened, and there's nothing that I can do about it. There's nothing that he can do about it. There's nothing anybody can do about it except what we do now. I can't change the past. But I can live for a bright and promising and loving and caring future. And I don't want to take anything away from my daughter. She deserves to have a good and happy life, but she also deserves to have her mother, her biological mother, in her life. And I have to stand my ground and know that she needs me. She's not better off without me. I have to stop thinking that way. I have to stop living in my shame and guilt and look at what I've done to better myself so that I can be a better mother for her. It's hard. It's hard to maintain that level of confidence in myself, especially when I have so many people against me. But I also have a lot of people that are supporting me. And I have to learn to reach out to those people and ask for help. I need help. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad mother. I have just made some really crappy choices in my life and let it get carried away for too long. I've let it go for too long. I can't let it go anymore. I can't just walk away. That's my kid. That's my daughter. So yeah. The main reason why I don't have my daughter right now is not to do with drugs. It's to do with my ex and being in a unsafe environment. My daughter wasn't allowed to be in my care because of the domestic violence that I was having to endure when I was with my ex. I wasn't an addict before that relationship. I haven't seen or spoken to my ex in over a year. It's been a year and a half. I've had no communication. We ended things amicably, and finally, It took a while for me to let him go because in a way he was my addiction. And being addicted to a person is a lot more dangerous than being addicted to a substance. You guys don't know my full story yet. I haven't told it all. I haven't been ready to. But you guys do know enough in my past videos to know that I was in a very, very scary place. And I did absolutely everything I could to keep my daughter out of that scary place. When I knew it wasn't going to be a good weekend for her, because I had her for weekends, when I could tell that it wasn't going to be a good weekend, I would call up my ex and make up an excuse like I had to work that weekend. If I knew that my partner at the time was going to be out of control, I would not let my daughter be around that. But yet I wasn't leaving him at the same time. And I was in a very, very toxic and unsafe situation. I had to escape to women's shelters a number of times because I was fearing for my life. There were times I really thought that I was going to die at his hands. But I loved him. And there's a part of me that will always love him. But in being on this journey, I have learned how okay it is and how much you need to love people from afar. And feel like, I love you, but over there. I am grateful for that experience because it taught me a lot. He taught me a lot. And I'm not excusing what he did to me at all. The things that he did to me should never be done to another human. But I learned from it. I grew from it. I got strong. And I'm still here. A few times I swore he was gonna kill me. He tried to kill me, but I'm still here. A few times he would even use that as his excuse. I'm making you stronger. You were weak before you met me. I'm making you strong. This is why I'm doing this shit to you. He didn't even know why he was doing the shit he was doing to me. He would black out. And another being, evil, whatever you want to call it, would take over. It wouldn't even be him anymore. there's a lot of trauma that I need to work through. There's a lot of darkness that I need to delve into and understand and bring to the light. But I have come a long way. He used to have me so scared to even walk down the street with my head up. I couldn't even walk down the street with my head up. I couldn't even look at anybody. I couldn't say hi. I couldn't talk to anybody. I was scared. Scared to even look up, scared to even say hello, scared to say thank you to somebody who would open a door for me, because he would think that I was cheating. I walked on eggshells every single day, afraid of my own shadow. Afraid to shine my light, because if I shined at all, I was dimming his. If I shined any light whatsoever, he would beat me up until my light went out. I became a shell of a person. I didn't take care of myself anymore. I wasn't allowed to wear nice clothes. I wasn't allowed to do my hair. I wasn't allowed to dye my hair. I wasn't allowed to get haircuts. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. I wasn't allowed to doll myself up in any way. Wasn't allowed to have confidence. I wasn't allowed to laugh. Wasn't allowed to have fun. Wasn't allowed to flirt. Wasn't allowed to express myself. I became very, very isolated, very quiet, very reserved. And very, 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 very scared of not just him, but of my own self, because of who I was becoming. I knew I was disappearing. He was literally squashing my entire soul. And breaking me completely. But even with all of that, somehow, somewhere, there was a small part of me, a tiny light that he didn't put out and that he couldn't break. Because I'm here. I survived. I survived and I got away. And then, like an idiot, I went back and did that again a couple of times. Until the last time. And what happened the last time that I went back? He had put down the drugs, he put down the alcohol, and he was on his medication. We spent a year together with no abuse. He didn't hit me once. He didn't abuse me once. We spent one last beautiful year together. We still had our ups and downs, but we were clean and sober. I was able to forgive him for what he did to me. And I was able to say goodbye to him and let him go. I didn't forgive him for him. I will never forget the things that he did to me. I'll never forget. It's ingrained in the back of my mind for the rest of my life. But I forgave him. For me. Not for him. And that was a year and a half ago. I have not been in a relationship since. I mean, I've had guy friends, but I won't let myself be in a relationship. And it's not because I haven't found the right one, it's because I'm not ready. There's a lot of shit I need to work through. I need to build a stable life for myself and my daughter. And if it has to be me and my daughter for the rest of my life, as long as I have her, I'll be okay. I'm finding a lot of comfort in being alone. It does get lonely, but I prefer being alone to the alternative. So I will be staying here at Round Lake for a while yet. I at least want to get the relapse prevention program under my belt before I leave here, because I need that. Especially when I get my life together. I go back to school, I get my own place, and I start fighting for custody of my daughter again, at least to have her a part of my life, where I can visit with her, talk with her on the phone again, something, anything. I need that relapse prevention program so that when shit hits the fan, like I know it will, and ammunition starts being shot against me, I will have all the tools under my belt that will stop me from relapsing. So my graduation date from the treatment program is still on October 20th. And then I will be moving up to the recovery house and doing the relapse prevention program until December 20th. And I will be out right before Christmas so I can be home. I can be home for Christmas. And so that's just my plan for the next few months. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I do want to go back to school. I am still adamant about opening my own recovery house for women and children. I want to help, and I want to give back. I want to empower women because I know what it's like to be scared, to be yourself, to be a powerful woman. I dulled my light for so long. I'm not doing that anymore. I choose to shine. And I'm gonna shine bright, and I really don't care if it's gonna irritate some people or not. Deal with it. If you don't like my light and my shine, then get lost. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. I don't care anymore. In that sense, how my light is going to affect other people, I really don't give a shit. That's their problem. It's not mine. I am not going to let anybody take my light away from me ever, ever, ever again. So, that being said, I'll say goodnight. And I'll talk to you guys another day. Love you all.